Yes, this isn't this day boyous. What? Oh, what's that I saw? Oh, alternate history? Oh boy, I can't wait to do an alternate history, even though I never did really care about history. And I only just watch other people do alternate history, which who and those people like know history way more than I do, but whatever. I'm gonna do it anyways. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I'm doing that. I never did that, but I never really cared about this, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Let's see how I do it, because I'm the best at everything. Everything at first tries. I'm always good. First try, idiot. Oh, what's this? Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's America and Canada. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of that stinking village. Why is there. What is that? I have no idea what that is. Let's go all the way over here. Yes. This is where I want to be. What is this map? It's an edited version of these maps. These puppies. Yeah, baby. You see that? You seeing this? You seeing all of this? That one. Which looks like this. Actually, let me just go away. That one looks like this. Yes. A map of America. A big map of America. If it were big. But I'm not doing that. I'm doing this. What is this? You might ask. This is what if America won the war of 1812. How would America won the war of 1812? Well, because what? So let's describe how America lost the war of 1812. Well, they didn't really lose anything. They just didn't do any. It was like a tie, basically. So America was looking like this. Didn't have Florida yet. So it was like something like this. Then, yeah, that's what the British had. So instead of going up here, they gone here. They also did like some fumbling, dumbling bullshit. So how would America won? If they were like, if the men were like awesome, they gone here, boom. Every war they lost, they won. Every battle they lost, they won. There you go. So yeah, just imagine America winning everything and the British crying like pussies. So what would America look like? America would look like this. Yeah. Not a lot of land for the South. So they would push to annex all of this. But first, they would get these two first because these were owned by the British. So they would have fought for like probably another year or so. So these guys, the Bahamas, would have been southern. Same with these guys, Jamaica. And they would have conquered, Florida. They would have conquered Cuba, and they would have gotten conquered both Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. So yeah, America would look like that. All of that. So eventually, obviously, they would expand westward and get all this land, this delicious, yummy land. Yes. There would be no British to stop them for like getting all their stuff. So come on, man. America would like look like this, kind of. They'll get all of. I think like obviously these would be states up here. I'm not sure about them, but they'd probably be states as well. These would probably be more like territories. And so when the South says, "Hey, you got too much land, man. We need more land, man," they would go beat the shit out of Mexico, and they would get all this. Yes, they got all this stuff. I got all this stuff right there. But they would also get all of northern Mexico because, the South wanted more land. And so Texas would have been divided same with like California and these states, these Mexican states, Sonora, whatever these three are, would have also been a part of America. And you know what also would have been part of America? My mom! No. But the Yucatan. The Yucatan wanted to be annexed because some white plantation owners, and stuff like that. So, getting the Yucatan in America would have been similar to getting Florida in America. Just, I think more shorter because of industrial might. Yeah. And so they would have conquered. What am I doing? They would have bought Alaska because Russia wanted more money, and they would have conquered Hawaii because of some port stuff. Yes, beautiful, beautiful America looks big. Yes, just how they should have been. And we're not done yet. Actually, we were never done yet because we had to discuss the Civil War, which I keep forgetting out of all my recordings. I keep forgetting about the Civil War. But yeah, just because the South has more land, it'll just basically be this like straight line. Basically like this, and then whoa. Yeah. So the South would have been like, this stuff. I gotta get rid of. No! Gotta undo all the brush. No. Strokes. So yeah, the Southland would have been Drew. But just because they have more territory doesn't mean that they're stronger. No. The North still has like industrial might, and since they have islands to deal with now, basically islands. These are basic. Yucatan is basically an island. Then they would just conquer these fast, very fast. Reconquered those islands very fast. They would just reconquer the South very fast as well because the South is still weak in this timeline. It's not like they, well, yeah, the South is like, still weak, and they still would have bad luck because one of their documents, one of the guys like somewhere in here, had like was taking like a leak or something like that. Oh my god, that's a giant fucking dick. That's gross. And they were taking a leak. One of the documents fell out. That's a document, not a dick. One of the documents fell out of his pocket, and so yeah, and like some union guy found that document, and the South still would have lost. So yeah, there's that. Now, there's more. Yeah. I said it. There is more. More. What do you mean more? By more, I mean Woodrow Wilson. What if he never was elected? Yes. What if he was not elected and instead this beautiful mustachioed guy named Theodore Roosevelt? Oh, yeah. Quotes. Yeah. What if he was elected? What if this manly man got elected? That's a girl. What the fuck? Oh, there he is. So, how would have it changed America and the world as a whole? First of all, we have to talk about why he lost. He lost because of, first of all, he's kind of basically split the Republican faction into two. Whatever. The Republican Party in two, with one being the progressives, and the other one just being, the Republicans. And so this kind of split the vote 50-50 to one or the other, thus allowing the fucking Democrats to win. Boom. And also something about, like, I don't know, Roosevelt not being the I don't know. I don't know. Well, apparently he wasn't like the man. The people, you know. Yeah, Roosevelt wasn't the man, bro. The the man controlling the power, bro. Didn't like Roosevelt, bro. And so they didn't like voted for Roosevelt. They didn't like Roosevelt, so they voted for the other guy. Yeah, the other guy. Yeah, yeah. So let's see. The southern states wouldn't like Roosevelt, which would be all of these, which is wow. But there would be more northern states. So I think it would. I think the Republicans would. I think Roosevelt would win. Let's ignore. Let's just ignore the other presidential shit because I don't really care about the other stuff. I just want Roosevelt to win 1912, which is funny because this the War of 1812 was 100 years earlier. Funny, huh? Well, what is this? There can there could there can be no divided alliance here. Any man who says he's American but something else also isn't American at all. We have room for but one flag, the American flag. We have room but for one. Ugh, I can't speak. There can be no divided alliance allegiance here. Any man who says he is American, but something else also, isn't American at all. We have room for but one flag, the American flag. We have room for but one language here, and that is the English language. And we have room for but one sole loyalty, and that is the loyalty to the American people. Yeah, he wanted immigrants to be Americans, not African Americans or Latin Americans or fucking Asian Americans. No, you are American, not any of that shit. So, yeah. That means that the immigrants would have been indoctrinated into American culture. And this is what he thinks about the white man's burden. Rather poor poetry, but good sense from the expansion point of view. Not everyone was favorably impressed as Roosevelt. So that means he had a white man's burden look on things. So instead of instead of Woodrow Wilson trying to, reverse black Americans, well, the History Channel, I know. Instead of him trying to fucking destroy, what the fuck, man? Ugh. You know, destroy black Americans, which I can't even see right now. Bitch, move out of the way. Theodore Roosevelt would have, not wanted the KKK to exist, and instead did what the Irish, and instead not do that, and instead, get black people and basically convert them to American culture. America, man. So that means that one of the pillars of wokeness would never exist in this timeline because black people would basically become another Irish. What does that mean, you might say? Well, originally, Irish people were not liked in America. They did not like... Americans did not like the Irish in America. So what would that mean? So what did the Irish do? Well, the Irish would have assimilated into... Well, the Irish did assimilate to American culture, which would what the black people would basically do. The black people would assimilate into American culture without the KKK, and they would have be more trustworthy with white people. So that means that all this woke nonsense bullshit would never happen and World War One would have ended quicker. Now, why would I say this? Well, look at this. Look at this. Passengers sank, killing people on board, including 123 Americans. Incident. Sharp Americans. Yes. You see this? Woodrow Wilson was a pussy, only demanding Germany an apology. What a loser! But Theodore Roosevelt, Chad-based motherfucker he is, fucking wanted to destroy Germany. Because this happened during like the first years of World War One. This happened the second year of World War One, basically. So that means that when Roosevelt gets reelected, because he wanted to go to war with Germany, and I think the American people would like going to war with Germany because Germany fucking killed like 123 American people. So the Americans would have fucking... Why am I saying so much curse words? Americans would have gone to war with Germany earlier. They would have entered World War One a year earlier. Yeah. Oh yeah, you see this? Oh, yeah. I got map chart. So let's go to download map so I can just clearly see it. Yes. So as you can see, let's change this color into, I think green is fine. So as you can see, this is basically what World War One looked like. There's like trenches and shit, all this trench stuff, blah 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 blah. So that means when America comes, they would have, they would have basically do the same effect to what they did in our timeline, but earlier. Which, yeah, that means Germany would have been fucked. Like, oh no, we destroyed America's ship. Why did we do that? Oh no, that sounds more Italian. Whatever. But they would have lost a year earlier, I'm assuming. But, America was pretty fucking hefty, so that means that Germany, Germany would be fucked. So what does that mean for Germany and Austria and the Ottomans? They would have still existed, but they would have been weaker. So, whoa. This is what the German Empire looked. It would basically be the same, but Poland would probably exist, so yeah, it's like something like that. Poland would still probably exist. Maybe not. I'm not sure. I don't think Poland would exist. Well, you might never know. So, yeah. German would either look like this or give up some of its land, but I don't think that would be possible because, the Russians didn't exit the war because America would have beaten Germany before Germany could even send Lenin to Russia. So yeah, the German Empire would still have its borders like this, but it wouldn't have its colonies in Africa, and it would have paid probably had some of this, had this area to. Yeah, it would have what am I doing? Would have gotten this area to France, and that would be about it. Aside from some war reparations with money and stuff, and the Kaiser would still be there actually, but Germany wouldn't be as badly fucked as it was in our timeline with our Treaty of Versailles. So that means Hitler would never have risen in this timeline. And with Lenin not being in Russia, the communists would have never risen in Russia, so the USSR would have never happened, and thus that creates a domino effect where not only did would the USSR not exist, the CCP would not exist. So that means China would have been booming, baby. What? Why are we in World War II, huh? Well, in World War II, fuck. We're in World War II because I think it's more accurate to whatever is going on because Austria would have not. The Austrian Empire would basically collapse. It was basically just like two empires, so like it would be one side which was Austrian and the other side which was Hungarian. So the faction would split off because of World War One. So yeah. And Anatolia. Yeah. The Ottomans would still exist. Yes, I am one of those people. I'm basically just what a fault is. So they'd probably have like these lands off. Maybe. They probably wouldn't have Arabia anymore. Basically like no more of those. I guess. But they still would have been pretty big. And but what about Israel? Israel wouldn't exist. Because, Nazi Germany wouldn't exist. So that means a lot of Jews wouldn't have died. And Israel would never exist. So there's that. So in this timeline, America would have been bigger. Um yeah, America would have been bigger. The relationship with black people and white people in America would have been better. World War One would have ended sooner, which would mean that there would be no Nazis, no communists, and that means that wokeism would never exist. So this is basically the best fucking timeline. And I'm pissed, man. We could have not have wokeism, and instead we would have had like this bustling America, which would still like its fucking culture and never be like cupped, basically. Same with like the entirety of Europe, basically. They would be strong and mighty. I don't know what would happen in like a World War II scenario, if there ever would be a World War II scenario. I don't know what year it would have been, maybe in like the 90s or 80s or 70s. But yeah. This timeline is basically better than our own timeline, which I am pissed about. But we can still make we can still make our timeline good. We can still protect our democracy from all these evil jackasses that want to destroy our democracy. We could still unite under a country. We can still be Americans, the United States of America. We could still live in this country that is united, that will prosper, and it will prosper in the future. Because just because we're in like the dark ages doesn't mean that we'll ever get out of it. I also forgot to say this, but America would have been way more libertarian and progressive in this timeline than our timeline. And I'm not talking about like the liberal gay shit. I'm actually talking about real progressive stuff. It would have progressed America to the future and would have been a lot more freer. I don't think like the America we see nowadays I don't think America would be like as bad as right now. Probably like right now would still be pretty much like in like the 70s or the 60s, maybe in the 50s. So, yeah, maybe I'm like stretching it too much. Maybe like right now would be somewhere in like the 80s, how like the 80s was. But yeah, America would be way more better in this timeline. Especially that wokeism doesn't exist and that the borders would have the borders of like Mexico honestly like would have been like more secured. And since America has like states basically blocking Mexico, Mexico would have been a puppet of America. And so I don't think a lot of like Mexican immigrants or like really any other immigrants, I don't think there would be a lot of illegal immigrants anymore. So that means that America would still basically be like what it was in like the 50s or the 60s or the 40s. So yeah, that's some extra thoughts that I forgot to say in my original recording. Goodbye.